So today I'm really excited, guys, because we've got Roberto Quicapat. Now he's going to say his name properly because this is a Toltek name, okay? So Roberto is Mexican, and I hung out with him. Well, I did a podcast with him 2 years ago when I was in Oregon, 2.5 years ago, because he's got a big YouTube channel here in Mexico, and he's very, very popular. He's one of the biggest truthers in Mexico. He is well connected with all the other truthers, has retreats, vegan, truther, permaculture. What he doesn't know about the Toltek ancient wisdom is not worth knowing, because he, in my opinion, Roberto knows more than anyone else. And he taught me a lot when I hung out with him for 9 months in Mazunte. And God bless you, Roberto. Having you there was so good. You and Malika, Yusen, all these beautiful people in Mazunte. I'll never forget it. But Roberto was like an angel for me, you know, and it's going to give me such a pleasure to have him tonight. Guys, get ready for this, take notes, because the wisdom that you are going to learn about syncretism in Mexico from Roberto is going to blow your mind. 70,000 subscribers, hundreds of videos and interviews, and this guy's a superstar. Welcome, Roberto, my good friend.
Hi, brother. How are you? Thank you for having me. For me, it's such a pleasure and honor to be in your show and sharing this syncretism with all my lineage in this planet. And also, I have the channel that you mentioned before is the Spanish version. It's the most popular. But now I have my English version also. That's called Toltek Holistic School in Cali.
Hang on, I'm going to check it right now. Hang on. Toltek
Holistic School, all in Cali.
This one's going to be fun, man. I'm super stoked to be here, even though I was a little late.
No, you were invisible.
I was invisible.
All right, I've just subscribed. So now you have... So you got 1,000 subscribers there, so it's only new, and you've got 4, 5, about 10 videos on there, 1,000 subscribers, and this is just for English, is it?
Yeah, it's English. It's actually new. It's just open this year, so because I want to share this knowledge, this wisdom in this language, in English. It's also very important.
Mm-hmm. Well, brother, I told everybody that we hung out for about 9 months in Mazunte, in Oaxaca, and you were doing temazcals there. We were doing. I did presentations. You did, workshops as well and stuff. And yeah, we went to the beach a lot, and we went to Punta Cometa and stuff. It was really great, man. It was really nice hanging out with you. So
really.
Yeah. So I'm really keen to talk about the syncretism in Toltek wisdom, brother. So just, it's over to you, man. Share your knowledge of the beautiful system of learning that the Mexicans have here, brother, please.
Can I share my screen to show you?
Yes, he wants to share his screen.
Hang on a sec. What's his name?
Roberto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roberto, I'm Logan, so just...
Yeah, sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I introduced...
That's okay. It's all good.
So he wants to share the screen, please, girls.
They just need to reset up the screen because it froze on their side for some reason. So
His screen froze?
yeah, but they're fixing it.
We just had a freeze. The screen froze. Not that it's hot here. It's very. Not that it's cold here. It's very hot. So I don't know how it could freeze.
The main topic is Mayan astrology, Toltec astrology?
No, it's Toltek.
Just
it's not Maya.
Toltec. Okay.
Maya is only here in the Yucatan. Toltek is up just north of Mexico City.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it?
No, not really. This is something misunderstanding that I want to share with you and with the planet. That is something very important to clear this misunderstanding about the Toltec tradition. That's why I want to share my screen with some.
Okay. Great. Let's hear it. Where does the Toltec system come from?
Okay. I want to. No, I can't. I can't share my screen. So.
Yeah, they're still struggling with the.
Yeah. Hang on, ladies
we
and
have
gentlemen.
a
We're
big
still
problem,
trying
man.
to
If you
get
could
the.
just probably talk on it for now. It's going to be a few minutes, Roberto. Can you hear me?
I'm actually going to put his.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you can just introduce the system if you want.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, that's very important. The thing that you just to say that, because I want to start with this concept of Toltec. What a Toltec is really. Everybody know we have told that Toltec was a kind of culture in, as you say, in the center of the country in Mexico, but not really. Actually, Toltecayot, that is our wisdom and philosophy here in Anahuac, in North America, is syncretism also. And when we're talking about Toltec, we are talking about, it's not a culture, it's not a tribe, it's a spiritual grade. So a Toltec could be anybody. So it could be in that time, it could be a Mayan, could be a Cherokee, could be a Hopi, could be an Anasazi, a Mexica, whatever. So Toltec is a spiritual grade. Actually, the Olmec is not the original name of that civilization. They named themselves Toltecs because Toltec means human beings with self-experience, and that they take everything from their hearts. So this is very important to clear this, because actually in these modern times, a Toltec could be Australian, a Spanish, a Brazilian, a Chinese. It's not for a particular culture. This is a misunderstanding. So it's another way to see the life. It's also syncretism. It's another perspective that our ancestors in this continent, they have this philosophy and wisdom based in syncretism. So that's very important to realize that Toltec is not that we were told.
Right. So the Aztecs had Toltec philosophy. The Chichimecas had Toltec philosophy. The Mayans did. The Zapotecas.
Yeah,
the Mexicas. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, that's the way that they express the life. Actually, Toltec, also another concept of Toltec, is an artist. It's a human being that turned their lives into art, because the life is art. Art means expression. So they knew how to express their lives in this matrix, in this tonality, in this holographic realm, and how to move energy by the Nahualism. Nahualism is the way that they express and manipulate, how to manipulate energy from our hearts, and also based in our own experiences. We don't have beliefs. That's a virus. Beliefs is from the mind, and mind is not ours. So the Toltec principle is heart. That's why we are wearing this bandana. This bandana, we call it tonal mashot. That means in Nahuatl, the bandana that divides the face, the persona, because persona means mask. So devise the mask, the character from our hearts, for our essence. So that as we were in this to remember that we don't have to use our mind. So we have to get out of the duality concept to go back to the unity concept, that if that's unity, you're going to find it in your heart.
Okay.
So this philosophy is based in heart. In
Gotcha.
pulse,
So
in sound.
So I follow you now. And by the way, you can share your screen now. So now this is what I just want to interject with.
I can hear you. You have mute your
Mute?
micro.
Am I muted?
No.
No. Can't you hear me?
Well, mute your mic.
Mute my mic.
No, he's saying you're
mute
muted
the
on
mic.
the Zoom.
On Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But you got to do it through syncretism. Is syncretism muted on the? It's open? Okay, so he should hear you on that. Yeah?
I don't
You
know
should be all right. No, you should be good. It's going to be this.
Yeah. Now I can hear
You can hear now. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. You can share your screen, by the way, now. Okay. So, what I want to do is I want to say this. I think what in other systems a Toltek would be, for instance, in India, it would be a sannyas or a yogi, a bhakti yogi. In Neoplatonism, it would be a mystic. So there you go. That's what I'm thinking. All right. So over to you, brother. You can share your screen. And we froze again, did we?
No. Hang on, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not hearing anything.
Not from him. Well, let me just start. Let me just start for the person who really doesn't know what this is. I'm just going to read it straight off of Wikipedia, the definition of this, until we get this technical difficulty sorted out. So, what it says is the Toltec culture was a pre-Columbian Mesoamerican culture that ruled a state centered in Tula, Hidalgo, Mexico during the Epiclassic and early post-classic period of Mesoamerican chronology, reaching prominence 950 to 1150 CE, which is it's quite a while ago. And these cultures saw the Toltecs as their intellectual and cultural predecessors and described Toltec culture emanating from Tolan as the epitome of civilization. So that's what it means then.
Yeah.
Tolan means civilization.
No, actually, Tolan in Nahuatl means city.
City, okay. City civilization, got it. Okay,
Yes,
thanks
that's
for
another misunderstanding, because we know that history is a complete mess. It's not the real history that
right.
that you can find in books and Wikipedia and that kind of things. So Tolan means city. So every big city was called Tolan. Actually, in Teotihuacan was Güey Tolan, Teotihuacan. Here in Mexico City, it's just to be Tenochtitlan. They're Güey Tolan, Tenochtitlan. Or a big city, they call Tolan. That's why the term the Toltec comes from, because Tolan is like a I don't know how you say this word. This is a plant that grows around the ponds and in the country. It's like a sugar, similar to a sugar cane, like a small bamboo. That's in Spanish we call junco. That's in Nahuatl is tolan. So grows like this in vertical. So our ancestors say, okay, this is a metaphor from Mother Nature that we have to incorporate in our lives, because our ancestors around the planet, they were very good observers of nature, because nature is a reflection of our inner life also, because as within, so without. So they realize this and they say, we and also we are a reflection of everything. That's why we have another metaphor or archetype that we call the smoke mirror, that we call Tezcatlipoca, because everything is a reflection. It is an illusion. It's a game of mirrors in this tonality, in this matrix. So they say, okay, we observe this kind of plant that grows in a vertical, straight way. and also it's kind of flexible. That's how we have to live our lives, in the vertical, to grow, to ascend, to get out of this video game called Matrix Tonali, and also be just and be fair, following the principles of nature, and also be flexible, adapting to the circumstances, but you have to grow. So that's why they call themselves Toltecs. And Toltecs is, as Santos said before, we have a parallelism from our philosophy. We used to call it, actually we still call it Toltec Gayot. And Toltec Gayot is the similar wisdom from China. They have Tao. In Japan they have Zen. In India they have Ayurveda. And in Egypt they have Hermetism. And also in Europe we have the Catharos. I don't know how you say in English. Catharism.
The Cathars.
The Cathars, and the Essenians, and so on. So that's we have to realize that around the planet we have the same concept of life, expressed in different shapes. But the at the bottom of everything is the same principle, the same shape, and the purpose of this is to self-transformation. So now, can you see my screen now?
Yep. See.
Okay, so we want to start with this. So Toltec Gayot is syncretism, and now I want to explain why this philosophy is rising again. Our philosophy has been lost since 500 years ago, for the the Inquisition and this European invasion that we have suffered. But now is become in another in a version, in an updated version, but following the ancient principles that our ancestors left us, to assimilate this life and how to create energy to ascend and escape from this reality. They knew where we were. They knew exactly where are we living, or where are we stepping on in this planet. And now I'm going to show you that this is syncretism also, and it's beautiful because this knowledge is ready to be learned again and know for the entire planet, because this is one piece of our human history that we are missing, because we know everything about India, about China, about Africa, but America is okay. No, they were savages, and no, they didn't know anything about life. They were making sacrifices, and they were savages, and they were also cannibals. So that's very, very stupid thing to think about this, because there are no proofs, first of all, and also it's a bunch of lies, because the oldest Americans, they were very high advanced. They had very advanced technology, and they were very advanced in spirituality talking. They were very high. They have very, very high spirituality concepts, and they knew very, very well how to. They talking about Mayans. I think the Mayans were the first humans. I think after the big flood, because the big flood eliminates Aztlan. That Aztlan is Atlantis, is the same concept, and the myth said that the Atlanteans came to America or pre-America, and that's why our knowledge comes from Atlantis, that we call Aztlan. So they were, and the Mayans, they were the first humans that they decode the matrix. They create this kind of another matrix that they call how to say this matrix that is shapes the shape of this matrix is the toroidal field, and they called Arguelles is they taught this kind of information sulking. They created sulking, the Mayan sulking. And they express the matrix, the cycles and everything, because we are living in a
Promo videos coming on.
torus field. And they knew that everything is a loop. Everything is going to repeat. So that's why they could solve all the entire machinery that we call the astral realm, that is the stars and the sun, the moon, and they solve that everything repeats, cycles in cycle of another.
Hey, Roberto, I have a question for you. So from the basic fundamentals of being in the Toltek and all these traditions, what is the main function of a human being? Like, what's the purpose for this culture to be a human being? Like, we know there's ascension in every culture, but what's the point of coming here? Was there an origin or a root of that with the Toltek culture?
To ascend.
Well, I know that's what the agenda would be, but I'm saying is, what's the purpose of being a human being, as the Toltecs would tell? Oh, you're going to show this now. Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm going to show you. I'm going to answer your question, passing these slides because I'm going to explain everything about that. So, who were the Toltecs? I just say no. The Toltecs were human beings that they take everything from the heart and live from their own experience, and also they turn their lives into art. And they have this knowledge. Toltekayot is our wisdom here in America. So Toltekayot is the path of consciousness. You will enter to this when you are able to question everything. Toltekayot is the opposite of any sect, where they demand to believe. We suggest to cleanse yourself of all beliefs. It's the quest of journey. It's the quest and journey of the total self-experience. So this is very important because we are living now, our lives are based in beliefs and paradigms. And everything that we have taken for granted, everything. We don't question everything, especially now in these moments, in these modern times. We are believing in science, we're believing in politics, in religion, and everything. No? So we have a lot of paradigms that rule our lives. And so that's the first thing that Toltekayot is going to ask you is get rid of all the things that you thought that it were true and is based in beliefs. Because the real thing is the things that you experience by yourself. So Toltekayot believes that the criterion of truth is one's own experience. The Toltecs do not have a position of faith, but of total verification. In this way, you will become a Toltec if you acquire the habit of consulting and getting everything from your heart. Being a Toltec is being a person of personal experience always. So now it's very important.
Great.
The power of Toltec Nahualis, and this is a very important and also this is based. The Nahualis is based is the foundations of this knowledge and this wisdom. So the power of Toltec Nahuals, men and women, Toltecs Nahualis, are presented as enlightened beings that through ascetic practices such as fasting, lucid dreams, yoga, meditation, celibacy, with no use of any plans of power, this is very important, or insane and intoxicating acts, where gluttony was suppressed, just as the sexual act that was used in a sacred way and with love. So they attain the states of consciousness and inner connection, as well as with the earth, in order to unfold consciousness and connect with the heart, in order to manifest fine energy using their multidimensionality, which manifested supernatural acts such as astral vision, teleportation, telekinesis, biolocation, materialization, talking to animals, and practicing astral travels. These humans were called Nahualis.
Wow, wow. Hang on a minute. Nawali. It's almost like a Naga. Jesus was a Naga.
It's the same, exactly. Nahual.
Yep.
Nahual. Further, I'm going to show you the relations that we have with India. India and Mexico, they were the same culture.
Yes.
And I have the proofs. We have the proofs. And Asia.
I've been saying that since I came to Mexico. I realized that. I've been to India, and as soon as I came to Mexico, I said, the food's the same, they have the same food, exactly, they have the same teachings, they have the same color skin, it's the same culture.
When did you go to India? When did you go to India?
2004.
Where'd you go?
Bombay, Mumbai.
Oh, nice.
So
this is great.
As you can see, we also have in the Toltek tradition, we have yoga that we call Kinam. We have very similar asanas. Of course, India is more developed in that manners because we suffered the Inquisition and the invasion, and we forgot everything. But then also we have in our culture yoga, meditation, and all the kinds of ascetic practices around the planet. Actually, how to say this in the principal civilizations that practice the energetic way to live, they practice ascetic practices like fasting. Fasting is very important, and they were called actually. To be a Toltec is to be a person, or not because person is a mask, no, a human being that save energy. So now Nahualism is the art to create and save energy, because we can create energy. For us, there is a fallacy that they create. The civil science said, no, the energy never creates, just transform. No, that's not true. You can create energy, but they don't want that. They know this knowledge because they don't want that we create energy because they are stealing our energy. So we are creating energy, but we are not aware of that. So that's why the system are stealing energy that we create energy. So that's the point of Nahual. Nahualism is the art to create and save energy and use that energy to escape from this matrix.
Nice.
So this is the Nahuales. They live, listen this, they live like an asset collected in their interior. That's why they call the Nahuali. So this is on books, in the ancient books. We are collected this from books. It's not that we just made up. So in this Toltecayot wisdom, we have something that we call the blossom word or the flourish word. And every battle is not outside, it's inside. So the purpose of this, answering one of your questions, so the purpose to be here is to defeat yourself, not outside. If you are fighting outside, you are wasting energy. So to get in this blossom war or this flourish war is to be impeccable. That's what it does. You have to order feelings, words, actions in one direction, and that we call coherence state. So the thing is that to be in this coherence in this state of coherence, you have to put in order in one direction your words, your feelings and thoughts, and especially your actions. Because now human beings, we are thinking something, but we are saying another thing, and we are doing the opposite. So we are not matching the things that we are thinking, saying, and doing. So that's why we have these conflicts in ourselves, creating emotions and conflicts outside and fighting with another brother and sister. So that's our ancestor says, you don't have to fight outside. You have to defeat yourself. Mm-hmm. The greatest battle of all is the inner battle. So that's one of the principles of Toltecayo. Save energy, you start to defeat yourself. And the first thing to defeat yourself is defeat your mind. The mind is delusion. Mind comes from mente. Mentins come from Latin. Mentis es mentira, is lies, to lie.
Let's pause there for a minute, guys. I hope everyone heard that. Did you hear what Roberto just said? Mente, mental. The word for lie in Spanish is the same as the mind. Mentira. Mente, mentira. The lie is the mind. Continue.
Yeah. So that's the point here. Get rid of the mind, because the mind is not our. Actually, in Carlos Castaneda books, Don Juan Matus said to Castaneda, the predator gave us its mind to make us believe and play its game.
Yes.
So that's the point. This is a game. This is a video game. Actually, Hollywood. It is. It's telling us all the time, and in movies and books, whatever. The main is Matrix and also Truman Show. Everything. This is a video game. Actually, if you see the new picture, or the new movie of Jumanji, the new one, not the old one, the new one. They are telling that in plain sight. No, they hiding this in plain sight. That the characters get into the game and they change their bodies. So they are not the same when they enter to the game. It's a very thin guy is become now in a very strong guy, because they are participating in another dimension, in another realm. So we have avatars, and our avatar is our body. Yeah. Our body is our transport, our vehicle of our souls. So, but it's very important, because our body, we have to. It's the temple of the soul. You need the transport to ascend, to get rid of this illusion and get out of this matrix. You need the body. Actually, in the Jesus allegory, they say Jesus ascend with body and soul. They say body and soul. They never say they left the body. He left the body. No, you need the body but you have to transform your body, and also you have to. How you say this? You have to take your body to a higher frequency. You have to make your body subtle, because we are transforming in carbon, and now we have to transform these bodies of carbon to silicon crystals. That's we have to be crystals again. That's allegory of Christos and Krishna and Quetzalcoatl. It's allegory that we are crystal beings, literally.
So repeat that again for people that missed that.
That's a good one.
So you're saying that we go from carbon to silicon.
Yeah, that's the ascension. Yeah. We have to transform. That's the purpose of this life.
And actually from carbon 12 to carbon 7.
Yeah. But
to silicon.
But we have to return to be silicon, because silicon is a crystal. We are made of crystals. We are crystal beings. Actually, our planet is a crystal being also. We have the proofs when they cut down the silicon trees, the giant trees that we used to have in the past.
Yes.
We have the proof. Everything was made of silicon.
Yes.
Everything is a crystal.
Silicate,
and the crystal resonates.
Which is what they use for computers.
Yeah, silicon chips.
Silicon Valley, the tech capital of the world.
You have the proof there. They are laughing in our faces.
Silicon Valley.
14,
yeah.
14.
Which means future.
Yeah.
silicon in my research means the future. Past, present, and future. Silicon represents the future.
Yep.
So that makes perfect sense. More confirmation for my research. Thanks, Roberto.
Yeah, and some confirmation for me on something I'm working on. Thank you. Let's keep going. This is getting better by the minute.
Better.
This is getting better. So this is the, the principles that our ancestors used to live with: honesty, truth, humility, love, wisdom, courage, and respect. So they were very high, superior beings, like we are in this present moment. So that's why this modern civilization, for us, because we are using our minds, it's very hard to admit that in the past, our ancestors, they used to live very different. Like now, actually here in America, we didn't have money, we didn't have private property, we didn't have this kind of slavery and empires, and this is a bunch of lies that they invented. We used to live like tribes, harmonized and also organized in two big confederations that I'm going to explain. So the Steped Greca represents the evolution. It's composed of a ladder and a spiral. The first symbolizes the ascent, and the second, the internal side. That is the inner ascension. So in the symbols, they are telling us everything. So these symbols is the ladder. You have to ascend, but where? To your center, to your heart. The center is the exit.
Yep. Neutrality, which is neutrality.
So Moyokoyani, neutrality now. Yeah, exactly. So Moyokoyani is another concept in the Toltek tradition. In Moyokoyani means those who transform themselves. Because we, as fractals from the source, because we are fractals from the source, whatever you want to call it. So if the source can create, also we can create, because we are part. We are the whole and the part. And the part and the whole. So that's why we said Moyokoyani. Moyokoyani, we are a fractal of the source. So that's why we can transform ourselves and create ourselves every day. Not just once. Every day you have to create and transform yourself. So yesterday I was intelligent and I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise and I'm going to change myself. So this is the main thing of Toltecayo. And everything, no, Tao and Ayurveda, whatever you want to call it, this is the main thing of everything. You have to change yourself first. This is your biggest task. Change yourself. You don't want...
Yep. Most people don't want to do that, though. They'd rather be in the shadow of someone else's life.
Yep.
Yeah, because everybody wants to be teachers and and also be the master and
Roberto,
first is July.
hey, can you expand a little bit on the sexuality of the Toltecs? It mentioned there about celibacy. First of all, were the Toltecs a celibate class like the sannyas, and what about family? The families of the Toltecs, were they having sexual relations for producing progeny? Tell us about that.
Okay, this is very complex topic, but I want to be brief. But celibacy is not suppress sex. It's use sex for a purpose, not just to fornicate, to fuck.
Yeah.
Because if you are wasting your energy, that's what I told you before. The Toltecs, we are trained to save energy. So if you are fucking, you are fornicating all the time, you're wasting your energy. And also, there's another thing that when you, and also in India, you can see in India, people that they surpass this kind of attachment, because there are two things that humans, we can control now. We can control sex and we can control food. So everybody is living in the gluttony, eating and drinking and everything that now we around the planet we are living in this kind of predator life, and also we are fucking all the time. We are wasting our energy in a promiscuous sex.
Yep.
No, so that's the point. That's how the system controls human beings today, by sex and by food. So they are giving to eat all the time, eating, and also wasting your energy eating. That's why we mentioned before that fasting is the path of liberation. Learn this is very well. So if you learn to fast, you're going to liberate, because if you don't eat anymore, because if you ask anybody, why are you working for? Because I need to eat. But if you don't, but that's a lie. That's not true, because, and I'm talking from my experience and from another, I can fast 40 days, and also in India there are people that they don't eat anymore. So this is the real liberation: sex and no eat anymore. Of course, it's step by step. It's not from one day to another. That's why we are explaining this, because we have to make these processes very well, because otherwise it's not going to work well, because it's like like a Mexican song said, you don't have to get first to the goal. You don't have to get to the goal first, but you have to get, how do you say, no hay que llegar primero. You have to know how to get. That's the point.
Yeah.
So there is no competition here. So the purpose is, first, there is 2 steps in Toltek. First, you have to be aware. Be aware that you have to change something in your life and produce that changes. And because we were ignorant, because the system created this system to keep us in this ignorance. The school, everything, no? We know these systems around us. School and Hollywood and football and government. Now, so government comes from governare, that is to rule. Mente is government, is to rule the mind. Government means to rule the mind. So that's the point of this. The first thing is to be aware that we were ignorant, and that's, pero that it's not enough, because most of the people know that to smoke is bad, and they keep smoking or drinking alcohol or drinking Coca-Cola, and people doesn't care. I don't care. It's delicious. It's my pleasure. I don't care. That's why we have to put in action the second thing. That is the force of will. Is the greatest force of all, the force of will, and that will comes from your heart. So that's the force that's going to move that energy to achieve your self-transformation. So that's why, to close the things of sex, you can have sex, but you have to have your partner, and also create both in harmony and use in a chemical way, and also save the sperm and rise your energy, not to the pineal gland. This is another trap. To your heart. This is the main thing.
Yep.
You have to keep it here, and from here your magnetism is going to radiate in another pulse. You can create everything with the sexual energy, because our sexual energy is the most powerful energy. That's why we can create another life. So that's why we're very wise. And another point of that, I think to have family comes from Latin, from the word Latin, famulus. Famulus means slave. So I prefer to say lineage, my lineage. But if you check these words, because Santos, you are very expert in this language thing, etymology. So there's another, the words are explaining a lot of things. And to babies come from bees. O sea, you see per bay, bees. bees from bees, the insect, no? Because we are creating honey like bees, and we are living like insects, like bees in a hive, because we are now involved in this collective conscious mind, in a hive collective mind, because we are acting like insects, like ants, like bees. We have queen or kings, and we have another layers of the hierarchy, and the workers. We are acting like fucking insects and reproducing like that, because we are producing honey, we are producing energy to the system, and that's why we are creating babies in order to feed these intradimensional beings, archons. And also, if you check the word feed us, it's the same like feed us.
Yeah.
So our feed us are feeding us. So that we have to be. I'm not saying that we don't have to have babies anymore, but if you want to create a new baby, you have to create it with love, and also with your body very good, disintoxicated, because we are producing humans in a very high intoxicated energy. So that's why we can get rid of this matrix energy, extraction matrix energy system. So in some point, we have to realize that we don't have to bring more souls to this energy extraction matrix system.
Exactly.
No, I think for me, if have babies is not available anymore. We have to be very wise, but it's up to you, as you have to investigate more, and this is something that I got asking to my Nahual and also using my feelings and my heart, and it's for sure at the first at the first feeling is like okay, yes, it's gonna be sad. I want to be a father, but maybe you have to ask yourself that all kind of things is like a programming information. It's like a program information that is programmed. Maybe it's not just we just creating more workers for this system, but I don't know. That's why our ancestors here in India and whatever around the planet, they practice celibate, and they don't want to have more children, because they knew this, and so the purpose is to come here and experience by yourself with consciousness. The purpose is be in matrix, but don't be part of matrix. It's like a lotus flower. Lotus flower can grow around this gross environment, but the flower is not going to be surrounded by temptation, but the flower is said, okay, I don't care, I'm going to flourish even with between these circumstances. So that's another metaphor that we have to learn. So be like a lotus flower. We can be surrounded by all temptations, and we have to be wise and start to realize that we have to change the way that we are living. It is nothing. No, it's nothing new. Because I'm teaching you this because this is from the past. So the point is return to the origin, and go to the origin is go to the main thing is we are not involving. We are taken to the essence of life.
Hey, Roberto, I'm not trying to, I hope I don't cut you out of your flow or your presentation, but what can you kind of go into the Godhead in the Toltek traditions, which is the Quetzalcoatl, right? Can you kind of talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's another crucial part of this presentation. I'm going to explain what Quetzalcoatl really is. So I'm going to finish with this. So Temachtiani in Nahuatl means teacher. So in parts of the Quetzalcoatl teachings, they say don't go out of you to be a victim. Go inside of you and be your own master. So that's the point of this again. Everything is inside. Don't go out to be a victim. That's why we are living now as humans, like victim. Oh, we are victims of the system. Yes, at the beginning we are victim. But when you are an adult, as adult, you are 100% responsible to change that. That's why we have to be responsible now. Start to be responsible, and the time of beliefs and start to following gurus and shamans and priests and preachers, whatever, rulers, is end, because now you are your own master, your own teacher. That's how you are going to achieve that. Living by yourself, experiencing everything by yourself. So that's part of the teachings of the Quetzalcoatl knowledge. So the social organization system of the Toltec tradition is in this pyramid. We have in the foundations to everything, listen, health, then diet, education, organization, and then spirituality. So they knew that everything is going to start or begins by keep you in the healthy state. Everything, every revolution starts with health, because if you are sick, you don't have the vitality, you don't have energy to do anything. And now we are observing the planet, that we are in the highest moments of everything is in a decay, and also we are seeing more and more people with obesity, diseases like cancer, like diabetes, whatever you want to call them. That's why the point of this is get rid of your healthy state of energy. In how you are going to achieve this, you have to change your diet. You have to become vegan. You have to incorporate the habit of fasting, and also start to eat less and less and less every time, because when you eat, you are still in energy, and it's very clear to prove it. When you eat a lot, you're going to get tired. You want to sleep, no?
Yeah.
You eat, I want to sleep, because that's the proof that food is still in energy. Otherwise, when you fast, you feel like, wow, I have a lot of energy. After 5 years of fasting, you say, wow, where is this energy come from? I'm not eating, because you generate your own energy. You don't need anything from outside. Everything comes from inside.
Yep, solitarian, breatharian, for sure. So that's I want to. That's the second thing that you've answered for me now. So the sex thing, I'm glad I understand that, and I knew that the Toltecs would have had that view about sexuality. I knew they would have been plant-based. So can you clarify, please, for the audience, for everybody, that here in Mexico, like in every single culture, and as the great Gerald Massey said, I have come to learn that there was never any culture in history that ate rotting corpses. They were all vegan, plant-based.
Sure.
Every single one of them. So can you clarify, please, that the Toltecs, the Mexicas, the Mayans were not cannibals and flesh eaters, please?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, when we're talking Toltecs, we're not talking about the whole people that used to live here in the past, because we have distortion, of course. So there used to be people that ate animals, for sure. Here in America, they used to eat fishes, and because we didn't have cows, pigs, and all the kind of artificial animals that the system created for human consume. But the only animals that our ancestors used to eat, there was the turkey and fishes.
Yeah,
pero I'm talking about the people that they were out of the Toltec tradition, because I told you Toltec, it's like in Japan all the people they are not following the Zen path, and also in India they know most of the people are following the Ayurveda path, and in China there are no.
Exactly, but this is what Gerald Massey explains, that this happened subtly when the fall happened. Before that, though, even those people were not eating any flesh. They were not.
No.
And this is really this is really symbolized in the Bible, especially in before the flood. There was no such thing as flesh eating, So, and all the other sacred scriptures confirm this as well. Suddenly, something happened. Suddenly, there was a fracture. The beast video holographic simulacrum system that we live in took a big fall, and then all of a sudden, people started, consuming lower order things. First they were solitarians, breatharians, then they went to herbs, and then fruits, and then vegetables, and then nuts and seeds, and then animals. And then even in New Guinea and Africa there's cannibals, right? So there's so many orders.
Plus you have insects too. A lot of cultures eat insects as well.
Now Bill Gates wants everybody to eat insects and that, and Klaus Schwab, don't they?
Yeah, this is crucial part of everything. So
Roberto,
we have some exceptions that people used to eat that kind of meat, but they weren't following the Toltek path, because the real Toltecs, I can say that I don't have the proof, but following this energy, I can say that they even eat at all, because they knew of this kind of energy. That's why they could achieve ascension, like the Mayan ascent, the Hopis and ascent. In Peru also the Queros ascent. Most of the people, that's why I've told you have to take your body in a higher frequency to achieve this. In part of that, you have that. That's why I say the greatest battle of all is inside. And the first battle you have to achieve and fight is against your parasites and your larvae, the physical ones, because intestine controls mind. We have neurons here in the intestine that controls your brain. So that we are full of fungus, candidas, and also larvae and parasites and worms, that they are asking for food and sex. They are controlling our lives. That's why we are living like zombies. We are in a zombie apocalypse. It's not metaphorical, it's literally, because these parasites are controlling our lives.
Yep.
So that's I want just to say, who are moving your tongue when you speak, and who are moving your body when you're living? The larva, the parasite of your soul.
Yep.
That's the purpose of this. Your soul has to take the control of your body again, because our soul is relegated, because now the parasite's taking over everything, our system, and they are asking everything. They are asking tobacco, alcohol, sex, and sugar, and all the kinds of drugs that humans beings are used to take. That's the purpose of this. The greatest battle is to defeat first that. If you want to defeat your mind, it's very easy. Cleanse your body, detox your body, kill those parasites, and then the mind is going to because there's another phrase that we have that they say is very famous around the planet: clean body, clean mind.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's impossible. You can go to therapy and psychology, but it's not going to be useful, because sooner or later it's going to increase again that emotion, because you didn't go to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is here in your bowels, in your intestine, in your stomach. It's full of parasites. And also your blood is full of toxins, it's full of fats. The resonance is not flowing, the sound. We are in the way that we're living, we are changing the way of we are changing the frequency of our wave.
Yes.
We are out of phase, because everything is sound. and that sound produces pulses. That pulses produce a frequency. This frequency produces a resonance, and that resonance produces magnetism, and that magnetism produces electricity, and so on and so on. So the problem is with you are out of phase. Everything that phase, like 15 degrees, 5 degrees, 40 degrees, is going to be the distortion in your body.
Yep.
So that's to get to the resonant state of health. That is the main state of every human being. If you don't do the opposite, it's because we are intoxicating our body in several ways. So that's the very main thing of this. Health is very important. Also, you have to keep your diet, and then education with another way to see the life. Now we don't have to take our children to schools anymore, because the school is an indoctrination center.
Yep.
We have to educate our children in our tribes. Everybody living in these eco villages, and also basing in permaculture, to produce your own food, your own houses, your own energy. We have to be self-sustainability? Yeah. Self-sufficient. And then we're going to get an organization, but organization following the principles of nature, and then spirituality. But spirituality means connection with your heart and with the environment. And then you can live here. And now you're going to learn to play with Matrix, but now Matrix is playing with us. You have to play with Matrix because this is a video game. You don't have to remember that. But the problem is we don't have the instructions how to play in this game. We forgot the instructions. So that's why you have to get spirituality to remember. And remember comes from remember means go back to your heart, because remember comes from the word Latin recordis, recordare. Recordis is do again, cordis, corazón.
Yeah, good point.
You're going back to your heart.
That's
the point.
That is a good point. In Spanish, it's clear that when you remember, you do it with your heart. Recordar. Cor is corazón.
Exactly.
And so in English we say, I learn off by heart. So when little children say the alphabet and they say A, B, C, all the way to Z, they say, yeah, I learned that off by heart. So that's recordar. Very good point. Now, brother, the third thing I want answered, the first one was the sex. The second one was the... what was that? The second point that you clarified for me, the diet. What did the Toltecs teach about the shape of the earth, and what was their cosmology there?
Oh, this is very important. I'm going to answer that question a little bit further, because this is very important. Also, they knew where we were living in, so that is very important. So to finish the concept of the Toltecayo, we have 7 points that they organize these spiritual practices. So the first one is getting to the Toltecayo life. Toltecayo means the way of good living, that you have to turn your life into art. Then you have to follow the path of Nahuatili, that is commitment with yourself, with your coherence, and with your self-transformation. That's the commitment is with yourself. The third one is Teochiwa. Now that means divinization. That is going to teach you to live sober, recapitulate, and relearn how to dream, to have lucid dreams. This is very important. And also the fourth path is Chippewa. And Chippewa is also a very crucial part that we have to really relearn and re-practice again. Chippewa means transparency and purification. Transparency of your... Because I told you we are made of crystals. So that's why you have to recover your transparency of your crystals and purify your body, detox your body, to reflect a very image because if you are clean from inside, you're going to reflect something better outside, because the world is a reflection of our inner side. That's why, because we are made of water, our waters are very toxified and also contaminated. That's why the waters outside are very contaminated. The lakes, the rivers, the oceans, because it's a reflex of resonance. Remember, we are one. So this is the concept of fractality, as within, so without. So this is a crucial point. And actually, in my Toltek school, we teach this point very, very cool in our retreats. We learn the people how to recover transparency and purification of their own mirrors, because they are mirrors, because we are made of crystals. And also in order to can reflect each other in a better way. That's why we don't recognize ourselves when we see another brother and sister, because we are blind by and also blocked by these veils and smokes and fumes that we can see clear. So the purpose is, okay, get rid of those veils and fumes and smokes, and also now we can reflect myself in another brother, another sister, and that's another sister, and that's how I'm going to recognize myself in you, because you are my reflection, and vice versa.
Right. Good point.
And we realize that I can hurt or harm any brother and sister because it's me.
Yeah.
So why I want to harm another brother and sister, because I'm me.
Yep.
So this is very important. So the fifth step is theomania. Theomania means meditation. Theomania means deliver to the, or must be surrender to your energy. Theo means energy. Theot is like this is the same concept of theot or theos in Greek. It's not God himself. It's energy. Mania is surrender. Surrender to your energy is the same concept of meditation. But meditation is not just putting this asana and this in this posture, like we are used to do it. Okay, you can do it. But meditation is very crucial to realize this. In this word, have everything. Edit. What's an edition is to cut. When you are, actually, like Santos and I, we are musicians also. When you record something and you want to edit a song, what do you do in addition? You want to cut the things that is not useful anymore. Okay, this is part of the song. Eliminate because it's not working. Okay, and also in a movie, you make an addition. It's to cut. So really, the meditation is realize the things that you have to cut off from your life forever. That's the real meditation. So you have to surrender to your energy and silence your mind. So the sixth one is Nawalot. Nawalot means energize. Energize yourself. How? I told you, fasting and practices these ascetic practices. And the seventh one is Jekoat. And Jekoat means physical exercises. Like whatever you want to do. We have in India yoga, and also we have Kinam. We have magic passes. The magic passes is the same like Tai Chi. Also, we have in America, we have Tai Chi, because I told you Asia and America used to be the same culture. And I'm going to show you the proofs later. So you got physical exercises to move your energy, because we need to move our body, because we are electrical beings also. And also we have to apply the concept of piezoelectric. Piezoelectric is something that you have to induce by mechanical, by dynamical, because we do two kind of processes. Mechanicals, like breathing, is mechanical. You don't have to do anything to breathe. And also we have to induce another process by dynamic to do something. So that's why we have to walk. To walk is the best exercise, because you are grounding, and also walking barefoot is the best way, because we are grounding in the earth. This is another concept that we have to realize, and another practice that we have to incorporate in our habits, because this is very important, to grounding with earth again, because Mother Earth is going to give you the pulse, magnetic pulse by your foot, and also give you minerals. And also the most important thing of grounding is get rid of ionization. You're going to get rid of electricity that you don't want. That electricity is going to swallow your tissues and your organs and your head. And then when you ground, wow, everything, the voltage is going to go to neutral, zero. And that's very important. That's why we have to walk. And when you walk, you're going to apply dynamic. And also it's the same principle of piezoelectric principle, that piezoelectric produced by dynamic movement energy, and that energy passed to a capacitor, and the capacitor is going to store that energy. So that's very important to practice physical exercises. And this is the crucial point of these teachings, this wisdom, the concept of Nawali and Tonali. Actually, Santos, you know a little bit of this because we were together. Yes. And remember, no, in Mazunte. So Nawali and Tonali is the same thing of the syncretism. It's the same thing that we were teaching and practicing for several years ago. But now I'm going to explain you this from a Toltek perspective. So first of all, we have to know about the Nawali concept. So Nawali concept is the totality, is the ether, is the thing that is the essence, is the energy that comes from a pulse that resonates and produce a magnetism and a frequency by pulses, is the spiritual wave. This is very important to realize. This is the spiritual realm. This is the totality. This is the source. Nawali is the source. Is the thing that we come from, all of us, and is the anti-material realm. So this is the foundation of everything. In this, Nawali is going to organize in fractals. It's the same concept. Fractals. What is fractals are? Frequencies. Because remember, this for the Toltecs, the source of energy comes from sound. Sound is the mother. Well, not the mother because it's a concept of dualism. But sound is everything. It's the source. The source is made of sound, no light. Light is delusion. There's a thing. There's another part of tonality that I'm going to explain later. But the sound is everything. Sound. We can prove this by cymatics. So fractals is frequencies, waves into waves. But this kind of wave is spiritual. Is a pulse, a resonant pulse that radiates, expands, and never decay, never dead. This is the ripple effect. This is the same. This is the spiritual wave that radiates from the pulse in resonance. That's the Nawali. And we have inside of us, this pulse comes from your heart. This is the fractal that comes from the source. It's here. It's not here. No, it's not the head. It's not the mind. It's here. The ether is inside us. And that's why we heard this, our coil is our core, our heart. Because remember, we have 5 principles that Santos have taught before, very, very good in the past. Everything is sound that resonates, then express in frequencies, and then express in magnetism, then express in electricity, and then in energy. So if you know about these 5 principles, sound, frequencies, magnetism, electricity, and energy, you're going. That's the instructions of this game, of this matrix, and for everything. I think so. So as within, so without, we have the same principles in our body. So actually, all the technology that we know in the past and in the modern times was copied from our body. Our body is a machine, machine, biological machine that works in the same way that our computers and pyramids and whatever you want to call it, kind of what do you say this? This I forgot the word, but technology.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The technology. So our coil is our heart. It's the torus field that produces everything. You can see this. The way that is made the heart is a coil.
Yeah, well, look, coil is cor, because cor, corazon, is C-O-L, coil. R and L are interchangeable. So coil is the exact word in etymology as heart, cor and coil.
The apple core.
Absolutely the same word. Coil and heart are the same word.
That's right.
Just Roberto, I just want to make sure you're running on time because we got about 20 minutes left.
Well, and I do want to address the cosmology of the Toltek people. Anyone online, folks, we normally take calls. If you want to ask Roberto a question, just put your hand up. I can see you there on in Zoom. We've got a half an hour, so keep it tight to the subject. Don't deviate from the Toltek wisdom that Roberto's been talking about, please. And yeah, let's keep the questions really brief if anyone wants to jump in. I'll look out for you if you put your hand up. Okay, keep going, Roberto. Thanks.
Okay, to finish with the concept of Nahual is the Ethernet. Actually, then the real name of it, or internet is Ethernet. If you check your modem, it says Ethernet. But they changed it because they knew that no, we don't have to change the name because they want to start to compare and everything is a trap. But Ethernet is the net that binds everything. It's going to keep us unite by this ether. Ether is the Nahuali. In our bodies inside we have the melanin. The melanin is the melody. Melody is the same concept because we are made of sound. And this is the melanin is the battery of our body.
Wow.
That is like a capacitor. Is the black substance that is going to substance that generates, operates, and dissolves, like generation, operation, and dissolution, because it has its own toroid field. It's rechargeable. This battery is rechargeable.
Look,
if we have this in the melanin.
That is beautiful, brother. Hey, you've got core and coil there. I've been saying this for years. Look at that. You got it right there, man. R and L are interchangeable. Your heart, the beat, is a muscle that goes like this, like a vortex.
It's like a spring. Yeah.
It goes like this. It's a coil. It's a coil. Yeah. It's an electromagnetic coil. It's not a pump. The heart is not a pump. Let's stop thinking it's a pump. It's an electromagnetic coil. Simple.
Yeah, that's why.
How do you say that in Spanish, coil?
Bobina.
Bobina, yes, it's a bobina.
No, bobina. So Nahuali also is our quantic double because we are multidimensional beings. So actually, when you sleep, the character that is in the dream is your Nahuali. You are unfold in another dimension because the dreams is another. So let's finish just with the concept of this Nahuali. So to finish the concept is like is your quantic double. Can you see the screen? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hang on. Yeah, I think we can.
Just so you know, Roberto, we have about 10 minutes left. So just whatever you can squeeze in that are the big important pieces that people can benefit from.
And try and get the cosmology in. Remember that.
Cosmology.
Yeah. So to finish that is that Nahuali comes from Nahui. Nahui, what it means for.
Ah.
It was 4 because 2 plus 2 per 2 is 4.
Four.
Is the first number that is going to expand itself, unfolded. So when you multiply 2 per 2, you have 4. So you are unfolded. That's the concept of Nahuali.
Wow.
And also, Nahuatl is the language. Nahuatl is our mother language. Nahuatl means fluid. Nahuatl.
And
Also,
that was spoken from Alaska to Panama, right? All of North America.
Yeah, because of course every culture has its own language, but to communicate each other, they use Nahuatl.
Okay, and from Panama all the way to Argentina, what was that culture called?
They call Tahuantinsuyo.
Say it again, nice and slow.
Tahuantinsuyo. America was organized into. Actually, the name of America is not America; it's Ameriqua.
Yeah.
America means the land of the feather serpent.
Yeah, American
Ameriqua.
as well. Yep.
America was organized into big confederations. The Northern Confederation was called Anahuac, and the Southern was called Tahuantinsuyo.
Tahuantinsuyu and Anahuac.
Anahuac.
So we in Mexico, we are from the Anahuac. Okay.
We are in Anahuac Confederation. We used to be Anahuacas, all of Mayas, Mexicas, Zapotecs, Hopis, Cherokees, Navajo, whatever. They were part of this confederation, and to communicate each other, they speak Nahuatl. Actually, Nahuatl is the most second spoken language in Mexico after Spanish. We have like 3 million people that speak Nahuatl today.
Where in Mexico?
In this country, in Mexico. Yeah.
Oh wow! I've never heard it.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
The whole planet uses Nahuatl words. Like the most famous is tomato, is tomatl, and also chocolate, avocado, that's aguacatl, Atlantico is from Nahuatl. A lot. Actually, Spanish took several words from Nahuatl and incorporates to Spanish, to modern Spanish.
Yes. Hey, and how about this? This is Atlantis because have all these cities like Tepoztlan, Miacatlan, Atlan. How many hundreds of cities have I personally seen here in Mexico that finish with Atlan?
Tlan means abundance of something, that is had a lot of something, because Atlantic means place that with abundance of water, because At is water. Nahuatl is 4 waters, because the continent is surrounded for water by the 4 sides, the 4 sides of the continent. So this is another concept I'm going to explain you in another occasion why they choose the name of these confederations, because they explain in the formula of life in our body. So they were very wise. These are not random names. They put it for some reason. So now what means fluid? Because we have At with water, because you have to speak with fluency, transparency, to speak with wisdom and love. And Nahuali means the one who flows between realities. So this is the fluid dimensions, and Nahuali is the one who flows between realities. How you can achieve this? Unfold yourself. Every night you are in another reality. But now we are not aware of our multiple bodies, because we are only our attachment point is just in the 3D dial. So you have to move your dial, and you can be whatever you want to be aware. But the problem is we are now naive, and also we are sedated in this 3D density concept, and also following the principles of gravity and this kind of bullshit. That's why we have to get rid of our minds. The Mayan says you have to empty yourself first to feel yourself with new things. So the first thing we have to do the first task that we have to achieve in these modern times is we have to forget everything you have learned, especially from the system. So that's the concept of Nahuali. And the second concept to finish this presentation is the tonali, is the matrix. Tonali means in Nahuatl, light. And illusion, the word illusion, comes from light, because the light is an illusion, it's an hologram. It's an illusion. Actually, in Spanish, we have another word. We say luto. Luto comes from light. Lux. Luto means death.
Wait. Say it. What's the word again?
How you say Santos luto in when somebody dead, you are in luto. Luto is like when somebody dead, we are
mourning. To mourn.
Hold on. This is how do you spell that?
Luto. Luto. Luto.
Luto. Okay, so
Luto
here's
comes from light.
Okay,
Luto
so
comes from
that
light.
Oh, really?
it means light.
Yeah.
But wait, you said something the morning.
Yeah, mourning. To mourn something. When
Luto?
Yeah, Luto.
So Lucifer is the son of the morning,
Yeah.
the son of the
Yeah,
dawn.
it's the same
Luto.
concept. Lucifer is light.
Light. Luto is light. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Luto is
hilarious,
light.
man.
Light is the illusion. It's the tonali. Tonali
right
is
there,
the
man.
matrix.
There's only one
Welcome
language.
to the world of tonali.
There's only one
And to-
language.
And tonali is a small part of
it's
the
too good.
Nahuali. So as you can see here, we are living in this holographic realm, in an overlay, living in the illusion. In we are actually living in a video game.
Yep. It's a big
So
movie.
that's the purpose to, and I'm going to show you a short video how to create an hologram. Check this out. This is very cool and very important. This is a video to show you how to create an 3D hologram from your cell phone. Look, this is the hologram, no? This is the crystal. Remember the pyramid of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon?
Yeah.
This is the prism. where
What's
the
that? Looks
light
like
comes from.
What, that looks like a shark in water. What is that?
It's an hologram. And they create the hologram like this. Remember this. This is a cross.
That's the photon of light right there.
That's the Maltese cross.
That's the multi-scrap, but it's also a photon of light right there.
Don't hurry. Don't rush that. So they are creating the mold in this plastic material to create, the trapezoid form like this, no? Okay, you have this prisma, and then you put your cell phone, and the way to project the hologram is like this.
Oh my.
This is our projection in our life. This is the proof.
What?
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Now let's pass to the in our ancestors. Look, this shape. It's the same shape. And also this pyramid is a speaker, because remember everything
speaker.
is sound.
Yeah.
So it's a speaker. It's the same shape of that mold,
Yeah.
of that prism. So they are telling us about we are living in the tonali. It's an illusion. It's hologram
Yep.
that we perceive with our senses. And also now our senses are very limited. As you can tell, the modern humans, most of the humans needs glasses to see. We are losing sight, we are losing smell, we are losing touch, we are losing everything because the way we're living in this predator life. So that's the concept of tonality. The Mayan says the same. Look at this.
Yep.
The cross, they're talking about the same concept. And now the thing that you said, the Maltese cross.
Yeah.
And here the crown is the same.
Yep.
So you are living, it's hidden in plain sight.
Yeah.
And also he's in this umbrella corporation. Umbrella comes from umbra. Umbra means shadow. So this is shadow. Corporation, corp is corpse. Our countries is a corpse. It's a dead.
It is.
Yeah, and
body.
that umbrella shape actually is an octagon. It's
So
an
they are telling us
eight-sided
you are living
polygonal.
on their umbrella, their shadow light cast, like living in the realm of deaths, because as we know with this concept of the straw man,
Yep.
we are living in the death in the world of deaths, because we are participating in this false system like voting and recognize yourself in the ID and passport and this and the how do you say in English the double
The straw man.
the straw man.
Yep.
So because we are living in the corporation in the realm of deaths, because light means death. Imagine, so light is an illusion. This is the thing of the 1%. The tonality is 1% of reality. Light is illusion. It has the white light, comes from the prism that I showed you before. And this is how we were divided in 7 colors, the 7 chakras, the 7 everything that we know, the 7 nodes. We were to be infinite. Now we are limited from the original, manipulated by the light, by the illusion. Because we are light means data. Light just carry data. It's information. Light is information. Information means in is taking, form is the forma of ion means ionization, light, electricity. So when you're taking information, you are taking the form, the shape of the ion, ionizing your life. It's like we're living in a disk, like say the Beta say, the flat Earth, because we have been read like a DVD with light, transporting data in 7 colors, in 7 frequencies. That's why we are human. Human means hue, color, man, mente. Minds in colors. That's human minds in colors, controlled by chakras, by this, because the controllers need to see us. That's why they put us these kind of colors, because they can see us, because we have a infinite, another kind of glow. In that they become us in Lucifers. And Lucifers means lux, infer means iron. And because we are full of iron, our blood is full of iron, fair.
Fair.
And also, that's why we're Lucifers, because we are carrying light, electricity, illusion, and iron. Because iron is going to produce, when oxidized iron produce fungus and produce larvae, and it's going to feed this kind of, and also it's going to make you low your energy. So because it's not a good conductor of energy.
Well, it's magnetic though. It's a good magnetic conductor.
Yeah, and also we have this kind of phosphate, and the phosphate ion. I don't know if you know that the phosphate are used to. They use it in these screens in TVs to make the colors visible. You need phosphate to make the colors visible. And that's why they introduce in our cells phosphate. That's we have phosphorus or phosphorus in our DNA, because they need to see and to through these colors, the controllers of this matrix can read everything about us. And that's why we are visible to them through this kind of control system. It's very
this is all Lucifer based, because ion means Lucifer too. So
so Lucifer is we have iron and fer and light.
Magnetic and light.
The light means duality, positive, negative, duality, confrontation all the time. We are, and also light is governed by the mind, and the parasite is here taking over. And now we are becoming in transhumanism. We are becoming in the full minds, in the artificial intelligence controlled by parasites. And we're living by minds in the duality. Now we are electric creatures like this, because we are this. We become in these beings ruled by mind, by this wave. That the wave is the concept of the tonality is the transversal wave. Transverse wave is vibration, is electricity, is hybrid, is material, and decays. Is following to the death.
Whereas magnetism does not decay.
Of course.
Roberto, we've come to the end, brother, and we didn't get time to do the cosmology. So I'm going to invite you back, because you only spoke. The show was only an hour and a half. I mean, because you dropped out, and that was bad luck. So we're going to invite you back. How about July? Can you pick either July 16 or July 23rd? Which one would you like to come back to? That's if you want to come back. You
Yeah,
know.
for sure. For me, it's a pleasure, such a pleasure, of course, because we just have having an introduction of this. Is we have more information that is very cool.
Oh, this is barely an introduction, man. This is just
Yeah,
too.
you're just getting warmed up, man.
Yeah.
You're
So,
getting into
what do you reckon? 23rd or 16th?
I don't know. I can respond later because
All right.
I need to organize. But for sure, for me, it's a commitment
Okay.
to go back and keeping sharing this kind of information. For me, this information, I'm taking the approach from the Toltek wisdom and the Toltek teachings, but updated and also in the modern times, because we have to update this because we are living in the modern times. This is applied in these modern times. For me, this is the most important thing, that all the information of the planet, we have to update it and make this more clear to apply in these modern times, because now is the moment. Yeah, is the moment to wake up and start to practice this kind of knowledge and start to realize that we are living in and change the way we're living. And that's the first thing that I told you. I'm going to finish with that. In the Toltec culture, we said, I am my own word, I am my own medicine. It's literally, I am my own word, I am my own medicine. Everything is inside. You have everything inside. The power is inside. So you have to feed your mind and know this concept of Nahual and Tonali that Santos has taught very good through all several years ago. And as you can tell, we are talking about the same concepts. So that's why we don't have to be fighting. No, I'm China. No, everything is the same. So now is the time to syncretize. Syncretism is the time to make a synthesis and update the information to apply it in these modern times, because we are in emergency times that if you are seeing how the world is running, you are blind, and it's not. It's like in Spanish we'd say, "Deja que los muertos entierren a los muertos." Let deads bury the dead.
Yeah.
Let the dead bury the dead.
Oh, Robert, man, I was happy from the start. I knew this was going to be good. Look, I can't wait for the next one, brother. So either the 16th or the 23rd of next month. All right, guys, so I've put both of Roberto's channels on Facebook and on Mr. Astrotheology.
Can you pin, because you have the Syncretism Society pinned at the top, can you guys pin his YouTube channel on the chat?
In the description.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll put it in the description.
So put both channels in there. And so for anyone who has a pen and paper who's listening, so the English channel is, the Spanish one with 70,000 subscribers is Comunidad Neo-Tolteca Olin Kali. And then the English one, which is exciting because he's got 8 videos up already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 videos. And it's called Toltek with a K, Holistic School again, Olin Kali. What does Olin Kali mean?
The house of movement.
House of Movement.
Yeah.
Olin is movement. Kali is house.
Huh.
Or container.
Wow. In Greek, Kali means good, and in Hindu, Kali is the god of destruction.
Yeah.
But here it's container or house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, Roberto.
Thanks, Roberto.
Thank you so much, brother. Say hello to Shani for me.
Yeah, Shani.
Shani, yeah. All right. And are you in Mexico City or Mazunte?
Now in Mexico City, because as you know, Mazunte is very bad because the hurricane.
The hurricane, but also it's getting very developed there now. I believe they're putting high-rise buildings and they're getting very much like Puerto Escondido.
No, not yet, but I think they want to, but no.
They want to, but not yet. They're trying to do that here as well. Some Cancun people are coming here and building clubs and high-rise. But we're resisting it. The Puerteños here in Puerto Morelos, we're resisting that. We don't want to go down the path of Playa del Carmen and Tulum, where it's Sodom and Gomorrah, man. This Puerto Morelos is, they call it the jewel of the Mayan Riviera. It's the jewel. This is the most beautiful, sleepy village town, you know, we love it. Logan just loves it. You know,
I just got my 1 year, June 1st. 1 year for me.
He came back
And
from
also,
Miami.
and also Bacalar is very beautiful.
Bacalar's nice as well.
yeah.
Bacalar and Puerto Morelos for me are the best towns in the Riviera Maya.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, man. I'm happy to stay here for as long as I can. All right, brother. I'll let the audience know whether it's the 16th or the 23rd of July. We'll have you back. And what I want you to start with, please, is the cosmology of the Mexicans. What did they say about the shape of the Earth? Thank you very much. All right, syncretists, thanks for joining us.